Hi guys, welcome back to Rock Fabulous 40s, and today I'm going to do a review for you guys on another Makeup Revolution palette. This is what they would consider like an all-in-one face type palette, and this is the Makeup Revolution Protection Palette, this guy right here. I picked him up at Ulta. He was $12 and he comes in 3 different shades. There's light medium, there's medium, and then there's medium deep. I have the one in medium, and like I said, he was $12, and you can always get like the $3.50 off coupons for Ulta. Makeup Revolution a lot of times does buy one get one 50% off, so you can get some pretty good deals on these Makeup Revolution palettes. Alright, so when you open it up, and it's got a really kind of nice like plastic enclosed case. When you open it up, you've got a big mirror there, and then you have your product right here. So what this consists of is 3 cream highlights, 3 cream concealers, then you have a powder, just a pressed powder, then you have a matte bronzer, then you have a blush, and then a highlight. So I'm going to start with the concealers, and I expected the concealers to be kind of a dry consistency and to make my under eye feel really dry. Well, surprisingly enough, it's really not all that dry. I mean, it's not the creamiest concealer ever, but they're not that dry. I mean, they do pretty well. I don't know why I'm trying to show you concealer on the back of my hand, because you're not going to be able to see it. But they really do pretty well. And the way that I used them today was I used the middle one, which is I guess the medium one in the palette. I used the middle one to just kind of color correct under my eyes. And then after I color corrected and I blended all that in, then I went in with the first one, which is the lightest shade, and I used that as the concealer under my eyes. So that actually went pretty well. Okay, then on to the powder. Now the powder is just a pressed powder, and I was thinking that this powder was going to be just a mess. Okay, I was thinking it was going to be powdery and chunky, and it was going to be hard to blend, and it was going to make my under eyes look cakey, because the only part of my face that I really use powder is under my eyes to set concealer, occasionally around my nose if I'm having an oily day. So today I used it under my eyes, and surprisingly this powder is very soft, very finely milled, and blends out beautifully. There's no need to cake up the brush because it doesn't take very much. You can just dip your brush in a little bit, tap off the excess, and set the under eye, and it does beautifully like that. So that's how I used the powder today, is under the eye. And then onto the bronzer. Honestly guys, I don't use a whole lot of bronzer. This is what they call a matte contour powder, and I don't contour, so I didn't really use it for that, and I don't really have a demo of that to show you. So honestly, I can't give you an honest feel for how this is going to be as an actual contour. Okay, but what I can tell you is I have used it as eyeshadow, and it does work great for eyeshadow. Now it does seem to lean just a little bit on the warm side, so I don't know if that's going to be great for contouring or not, to be quite honest. But like I said, for eyeshadow, it works pretty well. Alright, then we're going to move on to the highlight. Now the highlight, I'm skipping the blush for a moment and going on to the highlight because I'm trying to go in the order in which I applied the product. So I am wearing the highlight today, and the highlight seems to be the same highlight that they have in the Makeup Revolution Brow Palette, the Ultimate Brow Palette I think is what it was called. So it seems to be the same highlight, but it is a very pretty, when it's blended out, it looks just gorgeous. And okay, that's it right there. There's not like a whole lot of bing bang shine to it. It's a very natural highlight. And when I first swatched it, I was kind of like, man, this highlight is gonna suck because it's powdery, and when it's on my finger it comes off as chunky. But this is one that actually really surprised me. It blended in beautifully. I applied it to the tops of my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, my Cupid's bow, just kind of strategically placed it in some different areas, and I think it came out looking pretty nice. It's not sinking into any pores and fine lines, which for me is wonderful. All right, then on to the blush. The blush is kind of the same consistency as the pressed powder. It's really soft. It is also really pigmented. I don't know if you guys are getting a good view of that or not. It is also really pigmented, and you guys will see as I'm applying it, I'm not using much. I'm just kind of tapping the brush in and just applying it to the cheeks, and I'm applying it right over the highlight, blending it in, and it's just looking gorgeous. But it is very pigmented, so if you really dig your brush in there, it's going to kick up some powder. You're going to want to tap the brush off before you go to apply to your cheeks, because I think you can really overdo it with this blush. So my overall thoughts on this palette is I really feel like it's a pretty decent palette. I mean, I'm not going to say it is like the best faced products in the world. I mean, I've got some face products that I just absolutely love, but you know, it's not horrible. And for $12, I feel this is actually a good value for $12. Now, the one thing that actually really kind of bothers me though about the palette is having the cream products in with powder products, because sometimes the powder can just kind of fall over into the cream and then it changes the consistency of the cream. So that's one of the things I don't like about this, but it does come with a little plastic piece, and if you keep your plastic piece over the top at all times when you close it, and I'm having an issue here, okay, if you keep your plastic piece over the top at all times when you close the palette, okay, it actually keeps the powders out of the cream. So I've actually had really good luck with the creams staying creamy. So yeah, like I said, overall, this is a pretty decent palette. I feel for the $12, it is worth the money. I really do. The product on the inside is pretty good. Alright guys, I hope this review was helpful, and if it was, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Also guys, you can look me up on my website at www.rockfabulousonline.com. You can look me up on Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, all under rockfabulous40s. And guys, don't forget to hit subscribe down there somewhere. Make sure you hit that button. Hit it, and you too can rock your fabulous 40s. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.